Now starting with the coming to the functions of marketing, the first function, okay, that we are taking care of here is marketing research. Now marketing research, what it means is that after you have decided on to the what product you are planning to launch, right, you have to do a complete market research in terms of that what are the other brands which are existing in the market of the same product. Let us say if I'm planning to launch a shoe, then what are the other brands of shoe which are there in the market, right? Then what are those points, what are the expectations of the consumers which these brands are not able to meet. So basically by doing a market research, we are trying to fill in the gap between the expectations of the customers and the existing products which are there in the market, right? We try and find out what does the customer want in terms of the product features, when is he going to buy the product, and what is the price that he is willing to pay to buy that particular product. So everything revolves around the customer's needs and preferences, right? The earlier saying caveat emptor, that is let the buyer beware, has now been replaced by caveat venditor, that is let the seller beware. Right now customer is the king of the market. You have to manufacture a product which is going to satisfy the needs and desires of the customer, right? After you have done a complete market research, we come to the next function, that is your market planning, right? A complete market plan has to be laid out wherein we are specifying their objectives in terms of what is going to be my target market, what is the level of production that I'm looking at, what is the kind of the market share that I want to acquire. Clear? Thereafter we come to product design and development. In marketing research, we have clearly identified what are the features that other products that our competitors are offering and what are the expectations or preferences of the customers in terms of the product features. So based upon that, we try and develop a product, and we also try and add something innovative to our product which the competitors do not have in their product. So that acts as our unique selling proposition. Clear? Thereafter coming to buying and assembling. After the product design has been finalized, we buy all the raw material, right? And in case we are going to be assembling, like in case of a PC, personal computer, different parts are bought from different places and then they're assembled at one place, right? So all these spare parts, we have to make sure that they are under one roof, right, so that the assembling can take place. Thereafter coming to standardization and grading. Now buyers as well as the sellers, they always prefer to have certain predetermined set standards for the product, right? Nowadays I think all the products, they are standardized, right? Whether if you want to go and buy, let's say, half kg of rice of a particular brand, fine, so you can just pick up any packet from the lot. All are going to be, it is assumed that all are going to be of the same weight and of the same quality. Coming to grading, now manufacturers are also very, very particular about, like if it is topmost, the premium quality rice, okay, there's a separate grade for that, that is A grade, right? Then usse kam jo hoga B grade, usse kam C grade, right? So it depends upon whatever, and they have been priced accordingly. जो सबसे अच्छी क्वालिटी को होगा वो ज्यादा महंगा होगा, उससे कम क्वालिटी का उससे थोड़ा सस्ता, और उससे कम क्वालिटी का सबसे सस्ता. So depending upon what quality you want to buy, you can make your pick accordingly, right? So that is why the products have been standardized, fine. Then packaging and labeling. Now packaging and labeling is also another function of marketing which is very, very important. Now package is the immediate covering in which the product is offered in the market, right? It is also called as a silent salesman because package gives you the entire information about the product, its brand name, its name of the manufacturer, its features, then how to use the product, what are the ingredients in the product, right? What are the contraindications in certain cases, then what is the maximum retail price, what is the date of expiry, date of packaging, every detail is given, right? This function is performed under packaging and labeling. Then coming to branding. Branding is basically the process of giving a unique name to the product so that it can be differentiated from the other competitors' product which are there in the market. Because if we don't do so, it will become very difficult to distinguish between the products which have been manufactured by different people, right? Now brand name has to be something very, very catchy that speaks something about the product, right? Then pricing of the product. The price of the product has to be determined, and the price should be such, right, the customer is willing to pay only that amount of money which is equivalent to the benefits that he is going to be deriving from that product, right? So product has to be priced appropriately, right, considering what the customer, the prospective customer, is willing to pay, right? Then coming to promotion and selling, after the product and all has been manufactured, you have to make people aware about your existence, that I am there in the market. How do you do that? You give advertisements in the television, you give advertisements in newspaper, on radios, right? You see these big hoardings and billboards on the side of the roads, right? On metro stations you see such big posters of different products. What is all that? That is your promotion, okay? You are publicizing your product. Then storage and warehousing, there is always a time gap between production and consumption, right? So after the time which is there between production and consumption, where are you going to keep all those goods? So warehousing comes into picture. All the goods, okay, till the time they are consumed or till the time there is a demand for those goods in the market, we keep them in the warehouse. Physical distribution of the goods, the manufacturer is only one, but the consumers, okay, they have been spread over a wide geographical area. So it is humanly impossible for the manufacturer to reach up to each and every consumer to deliver the good. So we have to, there is a distribution, there is a chain of there are different channels of distributions which are available to us. That is either through a wholesaler or retailer or maybe a franchisee. We are going to discuss it later on in this chapter. So one has to decide on to what channel of distribution are they going to take up. Then coming to transportation. Now generally the place of production and the place of consumption are not the same. Clear? As I just told you that consumers are spread generally over a wide geographical area. Fine. So in order to move the goods from the place of production to the place of consumption, what comes into the picture is transportation, right? Transportation creates place utility. Then last but not the least, customer support service. I told you that the process of the marketing, it begins much before the manufacture of the product begins and continues even after the product has been sold. Okay, after the product has been sold, the marketer still remains in touch with the customer so as to see that how is his experience with the product. Fine. How far have you been able to come up to the expectations of the customer in terms of the features of the product, in terms of innovativeness of the product, in terms of the price of the product, right? Then whatever are the shortcomings, we'll make sure that we incorporate those, okay, in the next block of the products that we supply in the market. After this, like at the beginning I told you that many a times people use these terms selling and marketing as synonyms. They think it to be the synonyms, but they are not synonyms. They are two entirely different concepts, right? The difference in selling and marketing has been clearly given in your book. Number one, I'll just explain it briefly. Number one being the objective of selling is to maximize their profit by maximizing their sales volume. जितनी ज़्यादा sales करेंगे उतना ज़्यादा profit होगा. But the main objective of marketing is to maximize their profits through customer satisfaction. You have to satisfy the customer, only then will there be repeat sales and your profits will increase. Right? Secondly, selling focuses on the needs of the sellers, whereas marketing focuses on the needs and wants of the customers. Selling starts after the production and it stops or it ends when the product has been sold. Marketing begins much before the production and continues even after the product has been sold. And selling is quite narrower in scope, whereas marketing is quite wide in scope, because it is wider in scope because it has so many functions, a number of 13 odd functions which have to be performed under marketing. Then selling assumes that the demand for the product is already there, but under marketing the demand for the product has to be created. Then in selling, seller uses manipulative and aggressive techniques to push up the sales of his product, whereas in marketing he uses integrated marketing strategies to capture high market share. And in case of selling, supremacy is given to the product or the producers. That is the saying caveat emptor, that is let the buyer beware. But here in marketing, customer enjoys the supreme position, and here we say caveat vendita, that is let the seller beware. That is the rule which is prevalent over here. So I hope the difference, the concept of marketing is clear, and as well as the difference between marketing and selling is also clear to you all.